Good morning, welcome to my first Crete vlog. I thought I would take you guys with me today. We're gonna check the nets and the machines that we use for the olive harvest. We haven't started yet because it hasn't rained, it's still a little bit early. But I thought it'd be fun to bring you guys along and show you that. I'm also headed down to the Platea and George's shop, so could be cool to give you a tour. Okay, so we have some time before we get to work. First things first, we took this photo in George's basil fields last year, and those are all the awards he's won with his oil. I told George I was gonna film me inside of his store, and he goes, "No, there's not enough oils." And you can see like he's straight out of extra virgin olive oil because it's the end of the season, right? Like we're harvesting for next year, so that's why the shelves look a little depleted. But to give you a speed run, we have some DIY kitchen utensils here. I love this. I'm actually thinking of bringing home this set for my mom. And over here we have the olive oil soaps, which are made from George's olive oil, and these are actually sponges that his brother collects, sea sponges. And then we have the aromatic oils. And this is just plain extra virgin. But you have Skinos, which actually has an award, the bronze medal. Mint, mandarin, rose, which is also awarded. Lemon, fennel, oregano, and then bigger bottles. I don't see any basil though, which is my favorite. They probably sold out of that one. And Zilke is the DIY queen. So hanging from the top, you have all these paper mache fishes that she made, and these are bouquets. Alright, so here's one of the nets that we're checking. You could see that we can't really use this one because there's huge holes in it. But I also wanted to show you guys over here where Zilke, she spends hours repairing all the nets. So yeah, for those holes, it'll be something similar, a repair like that. And the problem with all these holes is that these nets are placed on the ground to catch all the olives that fall. So it would be counterproductive to have the olives escape through these holes during the harvest. So they brought the machines down to the mechanic, and they're gonna leave them here to be checked. Next on the program, we're gonna go check out one of George's fields. It's important to clean the fields before we start the harvest because the nets have to be laid and you want to minimize getting holes in the nets. And George gave me this pail, and he told me to grab some pomegranates from the garden on the way home so I can bring them back to my apartment. And you actually have a ton of other fruits en route. We have mandarins, I think, and over here, those are either lemons or mandarins. I'm not sure. I think they're mandarins, just not ripe yet. All right, we've arrived at the field. I just have to find George. There's quite a lot of wind, so I hope you guys can hear me okay, but I thought I'd give you a quick tour of Aitria, which is his main field. Over here is the basil garden, which there isn't much left because it's the end of the season, but normally he grows all of the basil that he uses for his aromatized oils. Over here, you have a lemon tree, and then behind are all the olive trees that we'll be harvesting next week. They're super full, which is a good sign. I think it's also pretty interesting to mention that the reason the trees look like they're covered in a powder is because it's the natural minerals that George uses. His farm is organic, right? So he doesn't use pesticides, but to deal with the bugs and to avoid the bugs eating all the olives, if I remember correctly, he uses this white mineral powder that camouflages the olives from the bugs. So that's why you see sometimes this white powder covering the trees. Okay, so today we don't harvest olives for olive oil. Today we're harvesting some olives to eat. Just these black ones. And we're doing this by hand. Wow. Nice.
Here it was a fire it came from the street, and it burned all the bamboos, the wild bamboos, and it came also to the olive trees. You see there? You can see there. They are burned. And also the ancient tree, it was in danger. So what we do now is, first of all, it's a heavy work, but you must be patient. I want to take all the stones from here and discover the roots of the bamboo and destroy them so they don't come in the field. So we have to take all the stones from this part. So if you are a volunteer, you are welcome. And now we have to cut and clean all the burnt parts of the tree. So we harvest what remained, and after we make a better pruning after the harvesting. So now we make wood for the house. I will show you why we say that olive tree is immortal. Even if you burn it or cut it, if the roots are alive, it comes again. And here you see, this was burned, all this part. But you see also from here, look, they come new branches. Even if it was completely burnt, it comes from here. And if also the trunk is burnt, it comes from the root. So now what we do is, first of all, I want to take all this wood that comes into the river, because it's difficult. First, it's difficult to harvest, and second, it's dangerous for the fire. So maybe I think, yes, I will cut it all here, and I will leave only the branches that go in the field. Okay, and we make wood, as we said, good for the house this way also. And we make a good thing to this poor tree. Generous tree, sorry, not poor.